And we're live. We are live. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday morning.
Hello.
Today is our Friday because we do not have a show tomorrow. Just to remind everybody, today, Thursday, is actually a Chick Friday. Just in case you guys forgot. If you haven't already, make sure that you put us in your pocket.
Right
Subscribe to our podcast and put us right there. Okay. In case you haven't done that, subscribe to our podcast. Do that.
We're also not here on Monday. So it's a long weekend for the chicks.
She's in she's in Makalago, not Mar-a-Lago.
I'm heading to Makalago. Yes. So tomorrow and Monday, there will be no Chick show. We will be back at it on Tuesday morning at the normal time. And so remember that. Also, if everybody could just pray for Ella Dog. I know that works. And you guys are so good at praying for Ella Dog. She cannot put weight on her left back leg. We're taking her to the vet, totally delaying our trip. We're going to be driving in the middle of the night because we got to see what's up with Ella's foot. So just if you could push out some positive Ella Dog vibes, that would be great. Because she's old, you guys. We were talking about how old she is, and it's like she's like 104 or something.
Yeah, she is. I know. Because Mock's like, I don't know what's wrong with her, and I'm like, I don't think you realize how freaking old that dog is.
I do, though. I'm always obsessing about it. Always.
She's so old.
She's just the best girl.
And nobody would expect me to do the things that she does at 104 years old. Honestly, nobody better expect me to do the things that she does at 104 because I'm not doing them.
Yeah, I'm so worried it's something neurological. It just is a weird thing. So we'll find out at 1 today. That's when I go to the vet. But anyway, that's happening. And also, there's a big article on top of Daily Mail right now about the shortlist for VP for Trump. So some of the names that you've heard thrown around before are being thrown around again. That includes, so the 7 people that were listed: Doug Burgum, Marco Rubio, JD Vance, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, Elise Stefanik, hence my name today, and Ben Carson. So those are apparently the people that Trump has asked his team to get more information about. Does that mean anything? Maybe not. But it is interesting that he's asking for more information about them. The article also said that he may not tell us who he's choosing until the convention, which is July. So, and 3 days after his sentencing. So I don't know.
I think he's going to totally do that. He understands how to, like, the whole notion of suspense, and I mean, he understands how to work people. You know, he was in media for a long time. You know, he knows how to do that.
But then when will the debate be for the VPs? Because I want to see that. I don't care who he picks. I want to see whoever it is against Kamala.
Well, I mean, because the first one for the president's is the end of June, and you and I are going to be together.
Mm-hmm.
So if he announces in July, I mean, they'll just probably get that scheduled pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, but then the person he's going to find, or he or she is going to find out and then be like, go. Now you have to figure out how you're going to debate Kamala. Go.
I feel like that person is probably going to know well before they actually make the announcement.
I mean, they don't know yet. I can tell you that much right now, because a lot of these people are talking and saying, I haven't had any conversations. I don't know anything about this. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
But I do feel like probably like, don't you think by mid-month, end of month, they're going to know?
I would hope so.
And then he's going to be like, and then he's going to be like, let's just keep it on the down low until the convention, because that's how we roll here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that is the list. If you heard your favorite, then congrats. But if there was somebody that you wanted that's not on the list, it's not out of the realm of possibility that list is not complete. So he'll end up picking who he wants. That much we know.
Mm-hmm.
That much we know. Kim Donaldson, thank you so much. Kim says, just got home. Son went to ER, found a gallstone, and he will need surgery. He is only 23. He's never been to ER or been sick a day in his life. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Well, but that's a simple surgery, right? That happens every day. That's not a complicated thing. So he'll be fine.
Yes. And everybody here is really good at praying.
Mm-hmm. John Newbaum, thank you. John says, please remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for future generations this day, 80 years ago. Yeah, 80 years, man.
Yeah.
80 years.
I saw Biden and Jill and then Macron and his wife. Isn't his wife the one that was like she's like 30 years older than him?
And possibly a man,
Yeah,
allegedly.
and possibly a dude. Yeah, and they were walking and she kind of looks like a wax figure. And
Yeah.
she's walking with him. Yeah, so I saw them all walking together and doing whatever. And, it's gonna be amazing if Joe doesn't fall asleep during the
Oh my God, so
the
amazing.
ceremony. Mhm.
Well, and Martha McCallum was talking to some vets yesterday. There was one in particular that I didn't catch his name because I joined like halfway in, and she was talking to this one in particular about the fact that he volunteered to serve at the age of 16. He was like, I love my country and I want to fight for this country. And at 16 years old, he volunteered. And she asked him, do you think that anyone in today's generation would do the same? And he was like, absolutely not. There's
Yeah.
can you
He's
think of a single 16-year-old who would do that right
Mhm.
now?
No. Yeah, no, I can't. I
I
cannot.
mean,
It's a totally different generation.
totally different generation.
Mhm.
I mean, in every sense of the word, a
Yeah.
different generation.
Yep.
All right. Before we get into stuff and things, I would like to just call your attention to mypillow.com/chicks. There are some mega sales happening right now, you guys. And so here, when you go to mypillow.com/chicks, you can see all the super sale items immediately. And look, the slippers are $25. That is freaking amazing.
Yeah, that is yes, it is amazing. It
And
is.
then what else did I see that I was like, "Oh my God, that's such a good
Beach
price."
towels. I need some
Yeah,
beach towels.
beach towels are $25. Robes are less than 50. Um, let's see. Dog bed. Like if you have a small dog, $25 for their dog beds. Are you
Dogs.
kidding me?
Dogs.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
Get a dog
So
bed.
so many good sales right now at mypillow.com/chicks. That, of course, includes the 50% off the mattress toppers right now. So please stock up. Maybe get something for Father's Day at mypillow.com/chicks. In any case, support Mike Lindell and support us by visiting mypillow.com/chicks.
They are the best slippers ever, aren't they, Ashley?
For
They're
real.
the best. They're like
For real.
kitten fur technology wrapping your foot up.
It's the squeezy kitten fur
It is
technology.
squeezy. Mhm.
It's so squeezy, you guys.
Yeah.
So supremely squeezy.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, C Noons. C Noons says Biden's speech for D-Day, quote, as I stormed the beaches where my uncle had been eaten by cannibals and my
Right.
son Bo died, Jill was just a nurse then caring for the troops.
So true. You know he's
Dr.
gonna do
Jill.
that. Mhm.
I know. There's going to be so many lies. So many
Dr.
lies.
Jill. Mhm.
Couple interesting little headlines to get to, but first, we also missed this super sticker from yesterday from Janine Klimt, who just said, "Have a great day." This was like at the tail end of our show, so I wanted to make
That's
sure that we
nice.
acknowledged that.
Thank you, Janine.
And then got such an interesting and lovely email from Maureen. Maureen said, "Good morning, chicks. I was the commenter during yesterday's show that said I live in Maryland and I will never vote for lockdown Larry Hogan. Well, after I spent the day thinking over what you were saying about us needing the Senate majority, I realized I needed to get over my anger at the past actions of Hogan during the pandemic and toward Donald Trump and look to the future of the country as a whole. I respectfully accept your correction. LOL.
Well,
I love listening to you ladies here in Blue, Maryland.
love it.
Love that so much.
That's fantastic.
So much. So,
Mhm.
and that made me feel good because I was like, look at us having an impact.
I know, right? It happens about once every 5 years.
So that was really cool. Also, there was a hilarious exchange that took place with David Hogg and Kyle Rittenhouse. So David Hogg took a picture or posted a picture on Twitter saying, "Thank you for your work on gun safety, Kamala."
Oh my
And then
God.
posted this like deeply unflattering photo of her. But nonetheless, this is what he posted. And Kyle Rittenhouse simply responded, "Gay." And then the world exploded.
Yeah,
Like he got so much backlash. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much backlash. So much so, in fact, that Newsweek reached out to him for comment so that they could write a whole ass article about it. I'm not making this up. And so they reached out to him for comment, and they had to say, when approached for comment by Newsweek, Rittenhouse simply replied that Newsweek is gay. And then he retweeted that and said, that's because Newsweek is gay.
Oh my God, I love this kid.
I know.
Oh my God, I freaking love Kyle. I love him.
It's the greatest thing.
He should have been a Gen Xer, this kid. I mean, I feel like we should just like accept him into our tribe.
Yeah, like an honorary Gen Xer.
It's gay, man. That's gay.
And Newsweek's like, can we have your comment about about what you said about David Hogg being gay?
Yeah, you're gay. You're gay, Newsweek. You're gay.
You know how I know you're gay?
You listen to Coldplay. I cannot.
Oh my God, I love everything about this.
God, it's fantastic.
And then I saw a headline on Daily Mail this morning that I thought, you know what? It's time for that sweet meteor of death. It is time to get off this planet. This is a real headline, you guys. This is real.
What is happening?
Read it.
Anti-Trump cross-dressing man smashes car into county jail before hurling snakes and shouting, "The devil told me to kill everyone."
That's a real headline. That's a thing that happened in the world.
Where did this happen exactly?
I think it was Florida.
Of course. Yes.
Florida man.
Florida man. He's not the typical Florida man.
I mean, can you even?
Florida man nonetheless. Yeah, it's time. Just sweet meteor of death. It's time. We're waiting. We're waiting.
I mean, what is it going to take? Like, how much worse does it have to get?
I don't even know. He looked like he was delighted too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was excited about it.
Like, it was great. I was throwing snakes at people. Oh my God.
Anti-Trump cross-dressing man throwing snakes. That was not a headline. Those were not words I thought would be put together today that I would have to say out loud.
All together into one sentence. Mm-hmm.
But there they were.
Yeah.
You guys, speaking of dogs.
Oh my gosh. Look at the beagle. He escaped Fauci's wrath. Look at him.
Ruff Greens, which is the green powder for your dog's nutrition and health. This is a nutritional supplement for your dog that was created by naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black to make your dog live their longest, bestest lives. And he's packed it full of essential vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and digestive enzymes, all of which contribute to things like your dog having more energy, or your dog's coat getting shinier, or your dog's breath getting better. All of these things actually contribute to your dog living longer lives, because what it does is when you sprinkle it on their dry kibble, it brings that kibble to life. It brings that dry, dead kibble to life. It's amazing and it tastes delicious and your dogs will love it. And you can try it for free. You can get a free Jumpstart trial bag at ruffchicks.com. That's RUFF chicks.com. Ruff Chicks.
We were waiting.
.com.
We were waiting for the bark. There it is. There it is, everybody.
You're welcome. Okay, let's move on, because yesterday we talked about Joe Biden's executive order on the border, which was so preposterously stupid and obviously political.
So gay, you guys.
So gay. I love that word is making a comeback in the best way.
Here we go. It's making a comeback.
So Bill Melugin with the fabulous hair, always on the border reporting, and he wants you to understand why this is such a non-starting executive order. It's toothless, and it actually creates new problems. Here he is to explain.
Reading this executive order, what I can say is in no way should it be described as shutting down the border, and I'll explain why. There are several exceptions to this executive order he's going to be announcing. Number one, this is not going to stop or slow the up to 1,500 migrants per day who are being released into the country by showing up at a CBP port of entry with an appointment on a cell phone app called CBP One. It's 1,000 to 1,500 500 every day, and then they're released into the country. This executive order does not touch that. That is exempted. It also exempts the controversial program where up to 30,000 migrants per month are flying directly into the United States from foreign countries via a mass parole program the Biden administration has put in place. That's for migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. He's brought in over 450,000 people into the country that way so far. This executive order also does not touch that. So we are talking thousands of people coming into the country every single day that is left completely alone. What does the order? Well, excuse me, there's one more exception as well. Unaccompanied children and minors are not touched by this executive order. So that's going to raise concerns about possible child trafficking. The cartels will essentially be able to market to migrants and say, hey, give us your children. We'll get them across the border to the United States. We'll get them to the federal government. Pay us money. The United States isn't going to deport them. We'll get them across the border. The U.S. government will then get them wherever you want in the United States. That's exactly what's happening right now. There are other exceptions as well. Migrants are still able to claim fear once they're apprehended.
Oh my God. So none of this matters. None of it
matters. No.
Yeah. He's not doing jack squat.
Nope.
I especially love that we're flying people in here. We're just paying. Yeah, it's a parole program. What in the hell? We're just flying people from all over the world just into our country. We don't know who these people are. What? I'm sorry. Was I asked if I wanted to do this? If I wanted to pay for this? It's my money. Nobody ever asked me.
They never asked us anything.
I don't want to pay for that. I don't want to pay for criminal activity. I don't want to do that. The answer is no. This is nuts. And then he's going to get up on a stage, Joe will. He's going to get up on a stage and act like he did something. He's done nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, it's purely political, and we'll actually have somebody who is a supporter of his admit it out loud. You'll see that in just a moment. But first, I got to give you Mayorkas's supremely punchable face, because to Bill Melugin's point about like this increase in child trafficking, Neil Cavuto asked Mayorkas about that specifically. Isn't this going to be a problem now? And just the way that Mayorkas even looks into a camera makes me rage. Like, what is that face? What is it? Why does he look like this?
There are a number of exemptions for this, including unaccompanied children. And isn't that a green light for drug cartels to take advantage of that? And the whole purpose of this, it sort of blows up in your face.
Oh, absolutely not.
But who's going to watch those unaccompanied children? If they are allowed in, you don't ship them back. You don't do anything like that. So where do they go?
Neil, we deal with unaccompanied children in a humanitarian way, adhering to our values. We deter irregular migration. We build lawful pathways.
But this encourages
we have
drug
programs
cartels
for
to
minors.
take advantage of those kids, does it not, sir?
Just words. Spewing words.
Neil, we're taking it to the drug cartels with unprecedented strength through our transnational criminal investigative units.
No, this is actually a green light for those
customs
cartels.
enforcement.
Isn't that the fear, that this was actually green lighting and say, oh, God, but we can use these kids as pawns to get what we want?
Neil, let's be clear. The cartels, the smuggling organizations are unscrupulous. They exploit individuals of all different types of vulnerabilities. We are taking it to the cartels. We accepted unaccompanied children from this asylum bar because of the compelling humanitarian picture they present.
All right, let me get a better...
We're going to adhere to our values.
Okay.
We're going to adhere to our values while we take tough enforcement measures, which is what we have done.
No, it is not.
That made absolutely no sense. We're gonna take it to the cartels. What do you even say?
Maybe he meant children. We're just gonna take the children to the cartels
and just give the children to the cartels. This guy, he just says words that mean nothing. That's all he's saying is words. Like, oh my God, we've got like completely inept morons running the country, you guys. They don't know what they're doing. He is a perfect example of that. Like, it's at no time, when I was a kid, I used to look at people in the government and I would be like, okay, well, I mean, these are grown-ups, right? And then you grow up and then you realize that like none of these people are smart. Like seriously, they don't know what they're doing. It's not just disappointing.
Does he know exactly what he's doing? And he knows he can gaslight as much as he wants and there's never any consequence.
I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks that. Then there's also a part of me that thinks he's just a colossal dumbass that got into this position and he's like way in over his head. I don't know. Some days I think that it's by design, but I don't know if he's even that smart. I don't know if any of these people are that smart. I think there are some people behind the scenes that want this stuff to happen, but then they put dumb people in these positions to just sort of play things out. I think there are maybe smart people pulling the strings, but then this guy, so many sandwiches short of a picnic. You know what I mean?
And that stare, like that weird, just moronic stare into the camera. God. And the constant needing to use Neil's name as filler time so he can get his thoughts together.
Let me be clear. If I hear that one more time from this administration, let me be clear. Or if we had a nickel for every time we heard it, we could pay off the national debt. It's crazy. God.
Joy Reid was actually talking about states like Texas and Florida and how they've actually shipped some of the illegals, to various places all across the country. And she calls it a problem. I don't think she meant to say that, but she and one of the like super androgynous people on her little panel were saying the things. And I was like, okay, well, it's almost like they're this close to recognizing the problem, but then they're not. Here they are.
And the thing is, Paula, this is a good point that Jennifer makes, is that one of the things that red state governors, like the governors of Texas and Florida, have done is they've sent the problem, if you want to call it a problem of undocumented people, and they've shipped them all over the country, like the old, segregationists and the civil rights used to put black people on buses and say, hey, let's send them to your city so that you will be upset. And then you've got these twin pressures. People can't afford rent. People are seeing economic, challenges in terms of affording things. And then they see migrants and they say, well, they're getting the money that should be coming to me. So this has become really effective. So Biden's response to it is to say, I'll be punitive. Does that seem to address it?
It doesn't, and that's another problem. And you're right. I mean, I think that's the interesting dynamic that's happening, right? One thing is being a New Yorker and talking about the border, being miles and miles away from the border. The other thing is suddenly all of these states becoming border states. But I think here's the thing. The bottom line is that any humanitarian aid worker at the border, any Catholic charity that's there, anyone that is working with migrants every single day will tell you that this initiative does not equal border security. For one very simple reason. As this is happening, the cartels will simply profit more. I mean, all this does is drive migrants and asylum seekers to rely on the cartels to find other ways and other routes and more money to do what inevitably happens, which is finding different ways into the United States.
Okay, so she's admitting that it's a problem. But here's the thing, is that you have sanctuary cities that are like, hi, we want a sanctuary. We're delighted to sanctuary. So then Texas and Florida are like, okay, we're going to send you the folks so you can delightfully sanctuary. And then they get the folks so they can delightfully sanctuary. And then the sanctuary cities are like, oh, crap. We said we were going to sanctuary and now we don't want a sanctuary. We don't really want to do that.
We didn't want a sanctuary this hard.
We didn't want to do it. It's like, but you said you were going to do that. So freaking do it. Sanctuary. And now they're pissed off because they said they were going to do that. And now they're not doing it. And people like Joy Reid are saying that this is a problem. We're just, the Texases and the Floridas of the world are just giving you what you said you wanted. You want a sanctuary. Well, sanctuary. Because we don't want to do it. We don't want a sanctuary. We never said that we wanted a sanctuary. Y'all want to do that. We just happen to be on the border getting the problem. So we're happy to send it your way. And now they're bitching about it,
Well, and it's interesting because they're bitching in a way that like you can tell that if the conversation were to continue, that they would say, well, this punitive measure by Biden isn't the answer. The answer is to just let everybody in harder. That's what they would actually say. And they're so close to recognizing that the actual problem is that we allow asylum seekers at all right now. Like that whole entire program should be shut down. You're seeking asylum because you're terrified for your life in some backwards shithole. you're going to have to find somewhere else to go right now. Sorry, go
Actually,
to Mexico, go somewhere else. But the U.S., we're full.
yeah, it's not even the program that should be shut down. The entire border should be shut down. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the military should be on the border, like controlling our border. We've been invaded at this point. It's an actual invasion. It's out of control. We can't afford it. It's not sustainable. It should be shut down. And people trying to cross, like through force, we should be trying to keep them out. That's what we should be doing. And if anybody had a set of balls on them in this administration, they would be doing that. It should be closed. We're closed.
That's
Sorry.
mean, though. They
Not
think
open for
that's
business
mean.
anymore. I don't care if it's mean. We should be, we can't do it. We can't afford these people. And also, it's changed the complete infrastructure of our country. It's, I guess, fundamentally transformed us, which is what, a lot of Marxists want, but a lot of us don't.
Well, that's why we have to vote.
Yeah.
We got to vote, you guys. Don't think it's for nothing. Go out and vote. Make sure of it. Because otherwise, we're going to get more idiots like Kathy Hochul insisting that Biden is doing everything he can to secure the border.
He's been trying to get immigration reform since his first day in office. So this should not come as a surprise to anyone. You have to do an end run every once in a while, and that's exactly what today is all about.
Just can't. I can't with these
Remember
people.
like 5 minutes ago when she said that black kids didn't know what the word computer was? Remember that? You guys remember?
That was my favorite. That was
Almost
so telling.
almost as racist as Biden. Almost.
At least, I guess, credit, if that's the right word, to Jen Psaki for admitting out loud that this move, this executive order, is nothing except politics. It does nothing except send a message to Biden's people, his supporters. Look, he's trying to do something.
Regardless of who's mad about the details of what's in here and what isn't in here, it's a political vulnerability for the president and his campaign. They know that. They knew they would have to do something like an executive order before the election politically as well. And that's what we're seeing play out.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. It's political.
Yeah, we're seeing them do something at the last minute that doesn't mean anything, but they're just politically posturing is what they're doing.
Yep.
Thanks for admitting that, Peppermint Patty. Okay.
Thank you to Thomas Adams, who says, sentence Trump to 4 years public service in the White House.
That's a great idea.
It is a good idea. Cheryl Seipert, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Connie Cannell, thank you. Connie says, let's be clear. You ladies are awesome. Have a great weekend and enjoy. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, let's move on because it was a big day when it comes to Hunter Biden and the whole Biden crime enterprise. So the House Oversight Committee announced yesterday afternoon that they were referring both Hunter and James Biden for criminal prosecution. This is, of course, on top of the charges, the gun charges that Hunter's already in trial for right now. So the committee, along with the Judiciary Committee and the Ways and Means Committee, they sent criminal referrals for Hunter and James Biden for lying to Congress. And so here to explain the details of that is, what's his name? Pergram, I think is his name. Chad, maybe? He's going to explain the details right here.
John, good afternoon. Hunter Biden is accused of lying about his role at Rosemont Seneca Bohai. That's a Biden-related business. He is also accused of telling falsehoods about communications with Chinese business partners. Republicans say Jim Biden failed to tell the truth, too. The criminal referral says James Biden lied about attending a meeting between Hunter Biden, the president, and Hunter Biden business partner Tony Bobulinski. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy green-lighted an impeachment inquiry into President Biden last July. That investigation yielded some of this information, even if it never triggers impeachment of the president himself. Democrats are dubious. It's unlikely the DOJ would prosecute these cases, and that's precisely the point Republicans want to make. The GOP alleges there's different treatment for Democrats, and Hunter Biden in particular.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. The DOJ isn't going to do anything. But I mean, I think it's good. Honestly, I think this is okay because then Americans can finally see the corruption and all the stuff that the Bidens have done. And then they will see the dichotomy, the double standard here. Not like we've not already seen this
Right.
a million different times, but it's like, okay, it proves once again that there's a dual tier of justice.
Mhm.
And it's right before the election. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that we're doing this. I know a lot of people are like, this is a waste of time. I don't necessarily think it's a waste of time, especially with the timing of it being right before the election. I think
Well,
it's
and
okay.
I mean, it's like, you know, we played that clip a few days ago of Megyn and Mike Davis saying, we've got to fight fire with fire. And everybody was go, go, go. But like, this is exactly what they're doing. And now people are like, this is a waste of time. So what do we want?
I don't think it's a waste of time. I think I think it's good. People need to see. The DOJ is not going to do jack squat. They're not going to do anything.
Which is an important thing for people to see,
It's
right?
absolutely crucial for people to see that, especially right now for the election. They have to see that it's like Democrats are treated differently, and that should fire everybody up. If that doesn't fire you up to go to the polls, I don't know. I can't help you. It's like, then you're just kissing, your country goodbye. It's like, then bye-bye Republic. Cause
you got to fight for it.
You got to fight. Yeah.
And then this tidbit came out. The FBI, a witness from the FBI told Hunter Biden's jury yesterday that absolutely no tampering occurred whatsoever with the laptop. She was asked specifically, was there any evidence of tampering with the laptop data? And she said, no. And so I thought, well, this is interesting because we still haven't, all those, like, what was it, 51 CIA people or the intelligence community came out, wrote the letter saying the laptop was Russian disinformation. It wasn't real. And then even when that seemed far-fetched, then they tried to say, well, the data's been manipulated. It's all bullshit. And no one is apologizing. No one is saying, oh,
our bad.
And so there's no accountability once again. And it just makes me so mad. There's a flashback clip of that horrible Representative Dan Goldman, who I don't even remember who he's arguing with here, but this was when he was suggesting, oh yeah, that data was manipulated. You can't trust the laptop data. That's what he was actually trying to say.
You have no idea. You know hard drives can be manipulated.
Are you suggesting the New York Post could participate in a conspiracy to construct the contents of the Hunter Biden laptop?
No, sir. The problem is that hard drives can be manipulated by Rudy Giuliani or Russia.
Well, what's the evidence that happened?
Well, there is actual evidence of it, but the point is there's
no evidence for it, so you're engaging in a conspiracy.
I'm glad.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there's evidence of it. Kind of like the Russian collusion.
Right. It's
that
Schiff all over again.
Yeah, it's Adam Schiff all over again. Yeah, that guy, that Goldman dude, God, I can't. He's also like,
I know it. Oh my God,
face. It's like a Mayorkas face. He's making his rounds all over, like MSNBC and CNN. Like they love that guy. I can't. I can't. You guys.
They should play that clip to him over and over again and say, "Are you going to apologize?" Because
they won't play that clip. They will never hold these people accountable. They are the darlings of the left. These complete lying asshats are the darlings. They just love them. It's gross.
It is vile. You guys, if this all makes you want to like just crumble into a ball of despair and like never come out of the bedroom, can I just say this will help? Okay. Fruits and veggies are going to give you your energy and your will to live back. And if you're not getting fruits and veggies, at least you can get them through a delicious berry flavored drink from Field of Greens. So this is like a green powder superfood that is chock full of all of the goodness that you normally get from fruits and vegetables. This is all like 100% organic, freeze dried. I'm sorry, not freeze dried, real organic superfood. It is not a supplement. Okay. It's packed with antioxidants, fiber, probiotics. It's like a total superfood. This is what you get from fruits and veggies when you can't just have fruits and veggies. It's cheat code for fruits and veggies. That's why I like it, especially because it tastes like you're drinking a high C. You know what I mean?
It's a life hack.
It's a life hack. That's exactly right. And when you go to fogchicks.com, Field of Greens, fogchicks.com, and you use code CHICKS, you're going to get 15% off of your first order and free rush shipping on top of that. So please do yourself a favor. See if your labs get better. Some people do say that after they've taken that for a while. They drink their Field of Greens and they notice that their labs improve at the doctor's office. That's how good it is. Fogchicks.com. Use code CHICKS. All right. Back to all of this Hunter Biden hullabaloo. So Representative Scott Perry was doing a press conference. A lot of the representatives were after this criminal referral was sent to the DOJ. And the reporters, of course, because they're lefties, were pushing back saying, why are you doing this? This is retribution. Do you even have any evidence? And here's Scott Perry getting fired up at him.
What actual evidence do you have as opposed to allegations to show to the American public that would merit an actual impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden and prove that today isn't just about some of you?
Oh, I don't know.
Bullied Speaker McCarthy for the sake of enacting political revenge.
This isn't about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. That's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. And we also have the vice president at the time on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a bitch, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on. That's what we have. If you can't see that, if you are that blind, look, I'll turn it over to the attorneys.
He's like, ma'am, didn't we fight a revolution against you? Good Lord.
I mean,
quite right. Right.
The people are trying to say there's nothing there. Why do you have 20 fake companies?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
You don't have that? You guys don't have 20 fake companies? What?
Should I? Because now I'm kind of feeling like maybe this is my ticket to get a nicer house.
If we had 20 fake companies, we would get audited.
We would go to jail.
That's right.
Right. Okay. It does work differently.
And if I did what Hunter Biden did, I would be a scumbag going to jail. Lord.
And these accusations, aren't you just weaponizing the DOJ?
Okay.
Can you even, like, the fact that they're saying that out loud in the midst of what they're doing is it's incredible, really.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. Suzette Paramore on Venmo, thank you. Suzette says, Mock and Daisy, to piggyback off of the earlier comment, you do make a difference. I have turned a couple of friends onto the insiders. They cannot believe how much information you put out in each podcast. We all learn a lot from the chicks. So happy to have you in my
life. So sweet. Thank you.
Oh my God.
So sweet.
That is so nice. Oh my gosh. I think it was Neil Cavuto that was actually asking Speaker Mike Johnson to explain whether or not what they are doing is retribution and weaponizing the DOJ. And Mike Johnson was like,
not having it.
Where you're coming from, Mr. Speaker, but are you weaponizing the House the same way you say Democrats were weaponizing the DOJ to get what they wanted? Are you just doing it in a bigger platform, the entire House of Representatives?
No, there is a very clear distinction between what we are doing and what they have done in weaponizing the judicial system. They're undermining the people's faith in our institutions, our system of justice itself. What we're doing, Neil, is the opposite. We are trying to adhere to the rule of law. We are trying to use the authority and the responsibility that we have in Congress to ensure that people can trust our justice system. It's absolutely essential to maintain a constitutional republic, and they are undermining the public's faith in that. We are here to hold the line and say, no, the rule of law has to be adhered to, and we can't have rogue prosecutors using our courts for political vendettas, and that's exactly what they're doing to Donald Trump. And I can tell you that people around this country see that clearly. I've traveled now to done events in 123 cities in 29 states in the last 6.5 months. Everywhere I go, Neil, east, west, north, south, it's the same. There's an energy out there because people are fed up with this, and they see that the Democrats and the far left have pushed this pendulum too far. It's going to begin to swing back, and we have to do our job here in Congress to assist with that, to hold these people accountable and to ensure that the law is being adhered to. That's the effort that you'll see play out here in the coming weeks.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Bill Randolph said Neil Cavuto is gay.
We're bringing it back, man. We are bringing that word back.
Sorry. It's just that the way that he asked Bill. It's just the way that he asked that question. He's like, "Is this weaponized?" I mean, he could have asked it in a different way, so he doesn't sound like such a flaming lib. I mean, I was a little weird. I know. maybe I'm just irritated today. I'm just so sick of being gaslit by everybody. It's like I said to our boss yesterday at Radio America. I don't even know what is Rich. What do we call Rich? I call him my boss, but he's not really our boss.
He's not really our boss because we don't really have that.
We don't really have a boss, but he's our what is he?
He's our main dude at Radio America.
Our main dude at Radio America. We were texting him yesterday, and I'm like, I am so sick of being gaslit. I've been gaslit so much. I'm surprised I haven't spontaneously combusted. Like the gaslight. It's like the gaslighting is just crazy. And when I see stuff like Neil Cavuto, like doing that, normally I wouldn't get so jacked up about it, but like everybody's got to be so on edge with all of this. Well, are you weaponizing? I mean, this is weaponizing, but on a bigger scale because it's the whole House of Representatives. What are you kidding me with that, Neil? Are you kidding me? Seriously.
Well, and Greg Gutfeld actually thinks that this whole Hunter Biden thing, the trial happening now, these new charges, or these new referrals rather, not charges yet and probably never, but all of this is distracting everybody from Joe Biden and his total incompetence at being president of the United States, particularly for a whole second term. Here's Greg to explain.
This is a win for Joe Biden because we're not talking about Joe Biden. Again, Hunter has taken one for the team. Going after this charge deflects everything from the big guy and the kickbacks and the influence peddling. This ticks the judicial box. So everybody can say, oh, look, it's equal justice. But in reality, it's not equal justice. If you remember, they curated a law, a bespoke charge, bespoke.
Like my suit.
Yeah. And then they got the guy Trump, and then they tailored the crime to fit. Meanwhile, the Hunter Biden crime is real, but has no blowback on the big guy, which is intended. So, it's the only charge that's untethered to Joe. So there's no discussion of the influence peddling or the kickbacks. And then I do agree, Hunter will get off as he usually does. But I do think that this is one of those things where it's nice and a nice little package. And as always, it's about the big guy. It's the big guy. Hunter's taken one for the team.
He's right.
I mean, and we should be focusing on the big guy.
Yeah. Somebody said that Neil Cavuto has a wife and 3 kids. I don't think you understand what the meaning of gay means when we say that Neil Cavuto is gay. Like there's a whole, I know this is a complete, like we're going off on like a completely different track here, but I just need to make sure that everybody understands that back in the day, back as Gen Xers, back in the day when we'd be like, that's gay. It didn't mean that you were homosexual.
Right.
That's not what it meant. It's not what it meant. It meant that you were lame.
And ridiculous.
And stupid and ridiculous. And just, that's what it meant. It didn't mean that you were homosexual. I realize that he has a wife and kids.
Anyway. He's not that kind of gay. He's like the whole other kind of gay.
Whole other kind of gay. Anyways. All right.
All right. Now let me ask you this. If Trump becomes president, do we want him to actually go through with retribution? Do we want him going after Hillary? Do we want him going after Obama? Do we want him going after the Bidens? What do we want when he gets there?
I want him cleaning up all the messes and doing all the work and getting the country back on track first. I want him to do all of that stuff. I mean, I'd like him to close the border and like deport some people and do, you know what I mean? Get the economy back in order and do a lot of the things that need to be done. All that stuff comes first. And then maybe we can seek some revenge.
Okay. Remember when he was running against Hillary and like he said, even during the debate, now he's trying to pretend that it's his followers who said, lock her up. But we all remember the moment from the debate when he was like, you'd be in jail. You know what I mean? So he's trying to distance himself from that because he doesn't want to appear like he's this vengeful, horrible guy. So he's walking a very interesting line at the moment. However, he's being clear that he is not in this for retribution. And the way that the media and Biden are twisting his words right now is making me rage. So he was with Sean Hannity last night yesterday. And he was very clear about this. Now, you're going to hear a part of this where I speed it up because sometimes he goes on these tangents where I am just like, my God, Donald Trump, can you just focus for a freaking second? And then he does. So you're going to hear like all this mumbo jumbo that doesn't matter, but I don't want you to think I've edited anything, right? So I've just sped up that part. But he could not be clearer that that is not his goal. He believes success is the best revenge.
Right. Success is the best revenge. Yeah.
That is what he's very, very clear about that. Like when I say, let's be clear, like he's being clear. Okay. So in this first clip, you're going to hear Sean Hannity ask him specifically about retribution. And is that what he wants?
People are claiming you want retribution. People are claiming you want what has happened to you done to Democrats. Would you do that ever?
Look, what's happened to me has never happened in this country before. And it has to stop because...
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. It has to stop.
Well, it does have to stop because we're not going to have a country
And if you're
anymore.
elected, what does that mean? Define that.
Look, what I've gone through, nobody's ever gone through. I'm a very legitimate person. I built a great business. I have been under siege. Nobody's ever seen anything like this in this country. Now, in other countries, in other third world countries, or banana republics, as they say, a banana republic,
Okay, so this is the part where he goes off on a tangent about like how everything sucks. So it's sped up, but there's no break here. And then you're going to hear the rest of his answer slowed down to normal. Okay, so just so you know what's coming.
We become a banana republic. At the border, we become a banana republic. With so many other elements of our country, we become a banana republic. You take a look at what's happening with inflation. That's a banana republic inflation, what we have. I think it could be as high as 50% if you add everything in. When you start adding energy prices in, when you start adding interest rates, which have gone from 2% to 9 and 10%.
The focus on those that want people to believe that you want retribution, that you will use the system of justice to go after your political enemies.
So, number one, they're wrong. It has to stop because otherwise we're not going to have a country. Look, when this election is over, based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. And it's easy because of criminality, all of the money that's going into the family and him, all of this money from China, from Russia, from Ukraine. During one of the interviews, I said, what about the $3.5 million paid to the Biden family from the mayor of Moscow's wife?
Okay, so I got to explain how I broke this up again because I don't want people to think I'm messing with anything. But he's about to talk about, Hillary and the whole lock her up thing. He gave a really great analogy, which I've cut here because it took way too long. But essentially, what he focused on was how he was at the UFC the other day and he got that amazing welcome, right?
Yep.
And he was remarking about how the UFC fighters hate each other, right? And they get in the ring and they just beat each other bloody and they loathe one another. But they also come together, like at whatever events or whatever other circumstances, it's kisses and hugs and it's good all around. So he was trying to draw that correlation. I've cut the UFC story out, but just know that that's the part that's missing. Okay. So that's the only thing that's missing. I want you to hear what he says again, because I feel like he's being very clear.
Have this stuff go on because you know what? When Biden goes out, everyone says bye-bye. And then he gets indicted 2 days later and they go after him. The country doesn't want that. And you know what? They didn't want it with Hillary Clinton either. I thought it was terrible. I'd make a speech. Everyone would say, lock her up, lock her up, lock. And I said, wouldn't it be terrible if I locked up the wife of the president of the United States, former, and locked up the former Secretary of State? It's a terrible thing. You're starting off, you want to bring the country together. I want to bring the country together. And success does bring the country together because we had the most successful economy in the history of our country just prior to COVID.
He's right. And listen, the UFC thing, that analogy is a great analogy. And he actually subscribes to that analogy, I think, in politics, because look at what he does to people. He's brutal to people. Like Ted Cruz is a perfect example. They were so awful to each other during the, I guess during the primaries, and then they became friends. You know what I mean? They were fine with each other. And some people can't deal with that. Some people just get so weirded out by that and they can't deal. But then, in politics, he and Ted, they could deal with it. They're fine. They're fine with it. And a lot of people can, I think Marco Rubio is probably another example. He was awful to Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is fine with Trump. They are fine. If you put them in a room together, they probably get along just fine. I mean, I don't even know. Was he on a short list? I have no idea for VP.
Yeah.
He's on a short list. I mean, this is the thing. So he can do that. He's capable. There are some people who are capable of that. They can separate business and personal stuff. And I think that Trump looks at things from a business perspective. I'm cool with that too. Business is business, man. That's the way that it is. And so I believe him when it comes to this. I really do. I think
he's proven it because he didn't go after Hillary. He became president after all of that, locking her up and you're going to go to jail. He didn't actually do it. Now, some people might be mad about that. I would have preferred that he did actually lock her up. You know what I mean? And so there's this weird dynamic. There's this weird balance that he has to have because he has to appease people who do want revenge, who are so sick of this and so mad and want justice. And I'm one of those people. I want accountability. I want Fauci put away forever. Yeah. And he, I don't know that there will be. So there's a very interesting line, but I don't think anybody can argue. If all of you here, you just heard the words out of his face. He was very clear that he is not interested in pursuing through the Justice Department these people, Biden's, Hillary. He does not want to do that. He wants the country to be the focus. And so you got to give him credit for that.
I think we should give him a lot of credit for that because that shows, and much to the dismay of the Joy Reids and all of these other horrible liberal people, it shows that he is a very humanity focused person. I don't think that that anybody on the left could give him any credit for that. They think that he's just this evil guy, but at the core of his being, he's very human. He doesn't want to do awful things to other people. He's very human. Look at what they've done to him. I don't think I would be that way. I think I would be like, oh, I'm coming out swinging.
Right.
I would really seriously, that would be really tough for me to not want to take revenge on people and not want to have retribution. But if he doesn't, God bless him for that.
And you agree that what we just heard was him being extremely clear about not doing that. He said he could. It would be very easy.
It would be easy.
But he also said in no uncertain terms that would be bad for the country and success is the best revenge.
And I think he wants to be successful. I think he wants the country to be successful. And that's going to be a lot of work in itself.
Right. So what did the Biden and Harris campaign put out in response to that interview? This.
Oh
Donald Trump confirms plans to jail opponents.
Freaking liars, man.
I saw that. I could not believe it. And then it got even worse because then they had freaking Andy McCabe with Kaitlin Clark.
Oh God.
And I was just like, the way that she skewed Trump's words, the way that they both pretended that all he wants is vengeance after they just heard the same thing that we listened to, I couldn't believe it. But you're going to hear it for yourself. There's 2 clips from Andy McCabe.
Unbelievable liars.
Yeah, I said Collins. I get them so confused now. Those names, Caitlin Collins. Here's the first one. I can't. I cannot believe that. Do they have the
He
same
is someone who's entirely transactional. And if he feels like he's been wronged in some way, then he focuses on revenge and vengeance. And so he's made it perfectly clear that that's what he's going to do. And in the process of seeking that, he is going to he runs the risk of really dismantling and greatly incapacitating the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Really?
And that is something that Americans on both sides of the political aisle should be worried about.
Yeah.
We depend on those institutions to protect us.
Well, what do you think?
It's remarkable. It's just remarkable.
It gets even worse.
Again, with the gaslighting and the projecting. These people are such filthy liars.
I mean, this was just the most extraordinary example ever.
Right.
And so when you heard him in his interview say the whole thing about, people don't want me to imagine if I put the Secretary of State and the former wife of a former president in jail. People don't want that. Like, that was what he said.
Actually said.
Yeah. And here is how Kaitlin Collins teed this up.
He just moments ago tonight in a brand new interview again referenced Hillary Clinton, not by name, but he said, wouldn't it be terrible if someone did this to the Secretary of State, making a clear reference to her? And do you take that seriously, that he would actually try to do something like that?
You'd be crazy not to take it seriously. Right? This is come to DC. It's going to be wild. He says what he's going to do. And his followers listen very closely to the words that he uses, the way he makes these oblique and indirect threats to people or institutions. And some of his most ardent followers, most extreme followers, we know are willing to take action on the things they think he's telling them. And
oh my God. Yeah, we heard him, Andrew. And we didn't misunderstand. You idiot. Because we understand, amazing. We can hear the words coming out of his face, and that's not what he said. Oh my God.
Yeah.
These people. I mean, their brains are so decayed by TDS. It's like, I want a divorce, Monk. I want a divorce. I can't take it any longer. I can't.
Well, there is some good news. There's good news. I have good news to bring you. Good tidings to bring, as they say. And so the first piece of good news has to do with the classified documents case, because now the judge in that case is now considering whether Jack Smith's appointment as special counsel is even valid.
There you
go. This is going to be like on a massive hold. And then on top of that, the Georgia case, the Georgia Court of Appeals has postponed all proceedings in the Fani Willis RICO case until they make their decision on whether or not she should be disqualified. So there's no way that that's even going to happen anytime before the election. So those two cases at the moment seem to be at a complete standstill.
Yeah, but none of this is political, you guys. None of it. It's all just on the up and up. Oh my God.
So, I mean, that's some good news, right?
Okay. All right.
That's good.
I still want a divorce.
I know. Same. Aaron Powers, thank you. Aaron says, excuse me, not that anyone needs my approval, but as our resident lesbian, I 1000% condone and endorse our group's use of gay. Bring it back.
I love it, right? You must be a Gen Xer. And you get it. You get it.
She gets it. She totally gets it. Douche Alias, thank you. He says, Gen Xer here, went to a Christian school and couldn't say gay without getting detention.
Oh my gosh.
We would call each other gay AF and piss off the teachers.
Oh my gosh.
Reba Henry, thank you. Reba says they'll still come after him. The demonic Democrats only have hate. It's true. It is true.
It's remarkable.
I don't know where the Wall Street Journal has been, but they just put out this article yesterday.
Oh my God.
You guys, he's showing signs of slipping. FYI.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Right? I couldn't believe that. And so then, in light of that article, one of the representatives, you have the name. What's that chick's name of the campaign?
Oh, the one that's Adrienne Elrod is her name?
Yes. Adrienne Elrod. I've never seen her before, but she was on, I think it's Newsmax, trying to insist, you guys, that this is not true.
You have to look at her face at the end of this. Just pay attention.
Well, no, not the first one. The first one isn't that
okay. One. But the second one, pay attention to her face. It's the greatest thing you'll ever see.
It's glorious. So this first one is about how sharp he is, you guys. Sharper than ever.
He's sharper than a Jell-O mold.
I can tell you that he is sharper than ever. Again, I want to go back and really underscore the fact that his record is very strong. He's achieved more as president than at least the past 4 to 5 presidents before him. You cannot get that done if you don't have all of your faculties.
She's so pinched, isn't she?
She's so mad already, and she doesn't even know how mad she's going to get.
Look at her face. So pinchy. Okay.
Very pinchy.
Gotta see.
Yeah. So the second one, the second clip is the great one because she is so mad about this question. So mad. And at the end, she's like ripping off headphones. She's so mad. Okay, watch.
How much should a candidate's cognitive function factor into that decision when someone votes?
I don't even know what that question means. I mean,
when they vote, should they be thinking about which candidate, how they're functioning cognitively?
Sure, absolutely. They should.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Adrienne Elrod, Senior Biden campaign spokesperson, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, as we head to break, Hunter.
So pissed. I'm not used to being questioned. I'm on the Biden team. I'm out of here.
I love that so much.
So
I don't think that was
mad.
Newsmax after all. I think that was, I don't even know what channel that was. I have no idea.
I don't even know. No idea. But I liked it. Yeah.
I know. I've never seen her before.
They're trotting out like it's like the B and the C class journalists now.
Oh, they
like
got their third string out.
Yeah, they got like the third string. They got out there. I don't even. Adrienne Elrod is her. I've never seen her either. Yeah.
I hope I never do again. Because if she's saying that Biden is sharper than he's ever been, she's delusional or just a big fat liar. Either one.
Yeah.
A little flashback, if we could, for a moment, just about how the media, and this is CNN in particular, back in 2021, this is what they do for him. I want you to keep in mind, you're going to see two headlines, one on top of the other. They are 10 days apart from each other, and they are written by the same person. So November 9th of 2021, Julia Horowitz of CNN Business said, why Joe Biden can't do much to ease gas prices. 10 days later, she wrote, oil prices are finally falling. Thank China and Joe Biden.
Oh my God. These people.
I mean, you just can't make it up. You can't.
Julia, get it together.
You cannot make this up. No. And then the Palmer report, also just like this total liberal hack. On September 30th of 21, they said, Melania Trump is trash. And anyone who respects her is also trash.
Oh, okay.
But then also in 2022, he said right-wing pundits are now making a point of attacking Jill Biden's character, which is how you know right-wing pundits are pure trash.
a lot of trash.
I mean, it just how do you like?
This is journalism now, you guys. This is journalism. Walter Cronkite is just like rolling over.
What has happened to us?
Yeah, journalism.
Over on locals, thank you. Genius the First sent a tip and said 151 North Delaware Street in Indianapolis is being gutted to house illegals. I am furious. I wonder, is that the Gold Building?
Yeah, because is that on the Circle? Is that on the Circle?
No, it's on North Delaware.
Delaware, okay.
But my husband used to work in a building that they vacated along with a lot of other companies, and I'm wondering if that's what that is.
But it's pretty close. It's close to like where we used to work, though, right?
Yeah, I mean it's downtown.
Area, yeah, that whole area down there like is not super safe anymore. Remember when you used to be able to walk downtown and
I know
it was nice and now no.
Yeah. I mean, It's just not the same. It is not the same, which reminds us that for meet and greet, if you're staying downtown, which you probably are, because that's where our meet and greet is actually going to be, but we're like on Mass Ave. So it's a little bit of a different area.
Yeah.
It's much more like sort of populated and not nearly as downtowny.
It's more bougie.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but if you are staying downtown, just don't go out anywhere alone. Make sure that you're in groups. And I hate to say that about like, our own city, but
used to not be that way.
Just use good judgment because you just never know. Okay. I thought this was an interesting clip that ties back to all this retribution talk and whether or not Trump should be holding people accountable or whether he should be focused primarily on restoring the country. And Rand Paul is somebody who has not yet endorsed Trump, and he was asked about whether he will. He has some needs that he would like met that have to do with accountability, particularly around COVID. And I thought that this was
Senator Paul, one guy who's tough on the border is Donald Trump. He's ready to come in and close the border, go after the criminals, move back towards deportation and so forth and so on. And I'm surprised you haven't yet endorsed President Trump in this reelection campaign. So I was kind of waiting for the Rand Paul endorsement.
You may still see it. We'll see. I've told the campaign I'm open to endorsing, but I want to hear more. What I want to hear from Donald Trump is, one, that the $8 billion that was borrowed in his first administration isn't going to happen again. I want to hear that there are not going to be any more lockdowns. I want to hear that Anthony Fauci was a mistake and should have been fired. And I want a steadfast, ironclad promise that if Trump is elected, he will open all of the spigots of federal records on COVID and let me thoroughly investigate NIH for the malfeasance and the cover-up that happened, and that heads will roll at HHS, NIH, and any place else that tried to cover up that COVID came from a lab in Wuhan. If that happens, you still may see an endorsement. I'm just not quite there yet.
Well, I think that's fair.
I mean,
I think it's all fair, you know.
I want all of those things.
I do too. God, I really want all those things. And
so that's the weird line that he's got to teeter on, right? Like it's a tightrope that Trump is on right now.
Yep. I mean,
so
just let him do it. Let Rand just do the things.
And speaking of the team that was responsible for the lockdowns, Deborah Birx was on, I think, CNN yesterday talking about bird flu. You guys, she is actually now suggesting that we PCR test all the cows, all of them.
For crying out loud.
There's like 40 million cows.
I have 3 of them.
She wants them all tested, and she thinks that every person should be doing PCR tests for bird flu as well. And on top of that, I think she's had some work done. You can see if you agree with me on that or not.
We're not testing to really see how many people have been exposed and got asymptomatically infected. We should be testing every cow weekly. You can do pooled PCR. We have the technology.
Oh, come on.
The great thing about America is we're incredibly innovative, and we have the ability to have these breakthroughs. We could be pool testing every dairy worker.
Seriously?
That's what she's actually suggesting. I can't with her.
So
oh my God.
Freaking ridiculous. Oh my God.
Did she get, I think she had an eye.
She had stuffed under her face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's done some things, you guys.
We paid for that. You're welcome, Deb.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's enough horrible stuff for now. We've got a lot of good things because this is our Friday, because we're not going to have a show on Friday or Monday. She has the best double D in the history of double Ds.
Really? You think it's the best one?
Really? I mean, it's one of
my
good
favorites. One. It's a pretty good one.
Super good one. And ahead of those, I also have very fun things for you to enjoy. And so we're going to get to those right now. First of all, this is actually not a fun thing. This is more terrifying, but it had a good ending. And this happened really close to you and perhaps at the petting zoo that you guys go to. This is one of those drive-through safaris.
Yeah, we love those.
Just south of Fort Worth. In Glen Rose, is that the one that you go to?
Never been to that one.
Okay,
no.
So it's not the one. But anyway, this is one of those, like, it looks very similar to the one that I think you guys have gone to where you can sit in the back of a pickup and feed like whatever.
Totally.
You can feed all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an itty bitty 2-year-old in the back of this pickup with her mom, and you get the cup of feed or whatever, and then the giraffe will come and like eat out of your hand, which is really cool. Well, this giraffe was a little overzealous and actually accidentally, I want to be sure everyone knows this was an accident. The giraffe was not being aggressive. It picked up the child along with the feed.
Oh my God.
And the mom had to grab her. So that was a whole ass kid. So wait,
my God.
Is there more? Yeah, it shows it again. Yeah. So that happened. So all is well.
Be careful. Just be careful with your kids when you go through drive-through safaris.
Just be careful and know
Just
that these are
watch your
animals. I
kids.
mean, he just was trying for the food. He didn't know he got her shirt.
Right.
Like it wasn't on purpose. So just know that that is a thing that happened.
It can happen.
Also, I freaking love kangaroos, as you know. And so in Australia, you see them all the time. This is not like an uncommon occurrence. But when you see this many on a golf course, this is like my freaking paradise.
How's this for golf today? They've
I'd
all
actually
decided to settle in the middle of the fairway.
I'd be a little unsettled by that.
Oh my God, I love this.
Because they kick.
But they're so hoppy and so cute and so soft. I love them so much.
Anita said, "Hey, Daisy, you need a kangaroo." I got you, Steve. I love it. That's so
and then
great.
they're just like, look, we just wanted to see what you were doing. Steve. We're just checking in. We just wanted to hang out a little, and now we're gonna go.
They're in the way of her shot.
But then they go. They just wanted to say hi.
And it's pretty cute.
I mean,
except for the one,
come
the
on.
last one. Yeah, the last one there.
Okay, this is so precious. So this is a child singing, a very small child singing "You Are My Sunshine" in a very sweet way. But it turns out this kid has a rock and roll streak, which you will see, and you're gonna love this.
Oh, my sunshine, my only sunshine, you make me happy, big factor. You're all my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Oh my God. His pitch was on too. He had perfect pitch.
I know, right? Amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah,
So
it was
great.
really good.
So great. And then a story, this came out in 2021, but it's new to me, and so it'll possibly be new to others. This is true. This is a true thing that happened. I looked it up. And this happened actually in South Bend, Indiana. So there's a history museum in South Bend, and someone donated 2 chairs, some auditorium chairs from a school in South Bend to the history museum. And somebody had carved in or like written in or carved in like a heart with like names in it, right? Back in 1965.
Oh my God.
And it turns out that it was Benny who had carved into the chair, Benny and Linda, like February 2nd, 65. And once that museum got it and posted the picture, freaking Benny saw it and said, yes, it was me. I carved that in the auditorium of Central High School my freshman year before leaving for LaSalle. Linda and I are still together.
Oh my God.
After having 3 wonderful girls and 50 years of marriage.
That is
told
so
my
cool.
friends in 4th grade I was going to marry Linda, and here we are heading for 51 years together on August 1st. Smartest thing I ever did in my life was marry this kind and pretty lady. Thank you for sharing.
God, that is the sweetest.
Oh my God.
That is just precious.
Right? I mean,
Benny.
can you even?
Benny.
Oh, he goes
What
by
a
Ben
guy.
now.
That is precious. So cute.
I know. Loved it. All right. Now it is time for your double D.
Okay, you guys make sure that that you go to our website and subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't done that already. Go to the top of the page of chicksontheright.com. Find our happy
our
little
faces.
faces and then click on newsletter and then do that. The LA Dodgers, I don't follow I'm sorry, I was going to say football, baseball. I follow football. I don't follow baseball because I'm just not into baseball. And listen, I know it's like America's favorite pastime, just not mine. All right. But the LA Dodgers has this really cool event called Pups in the Park. I would do this.
Oh my God.
And I would take Coda and he would wreck the place. Look at all of these. There's so many well-behaved pups at this event. I was just blown away by just the politeness of so many of these sweet dogs.
I love that this one's dressed up as a hot dog.
It's the cutest. But I mean, people will bring their dogs and like sit in the stands with them. It's the most precious thing. But I was just taken aback by how well behaved they are because my dogs are not well behaved at all. They're just not. I would take them, but yeah, it's really sweet. I think we have a video too.
We have 2. So the
Okay.
first one is when they're just walking in. So like dogs are just arriving.
Can you even? I mean,
Look at them
so
all.
many.
Oh my God, the ears.
Right? I mean, this is just the sweetest. I love it. I love it. Oh my. The VW. That's so cute. I want to see some bigger dogs. I see a lot of small dogs. Maybe they have a weight limit. I don't know.
There's some.
Because
That's a
Coda
good
would have to
size.
have his own chair. It's 180 pounds. Look how.
Simba cam was thrown up.
Look at
which
that,
was
you
ironic
guys.
'cause Simba is a cat, right? Really big lion, but
Can
dogs
you even?
everywhere. This is mesmerizing.
Look at this.
This is disturbing, amazing.
I
It's
cannot.
not disturbing. It's the best thing ever.
It is fantastic. So
Oh my
people are
God, I
saying
love
that
that.
like Phillies have it, Atlanta. Did they have that? No, I didn't. I don't know if Atlanta. I didn't really follow the Braves. I mean, kind of like maybe when I was younger, but not really. I know it's heaven, right? It's totally heaven.
It's the greatest thing ever. I
I
love
love
it.
it. So yeah, Pups in the Park. If you are in LA, you should totally do that.
Oh my
Send
gosh,
pictures.
so great.
Texas Rangers does that too. They do bark in the park. Maybe I'll have to go do that.
I mean, look for the date, and then maybe that is the one day that you would like baseball.
Maybe.
It's kind of like how Savannah Bananas make me like baseball just for those games.
No, because I'm just not really. It looks like a lot of fun, you guys. So fun.
Stephanie Mum, thank you. Stephanie says, I will never look at the drive-through safaris the same. I saw a show called I Was Prey, and a giraffe attacked a man and his wife and almost stomped them to death. Yikes. Love you, chicks. Gifts on the way. Have a great weekend. You don't have to send us anything.
To send anything
Just
to us.
Please buy from our sponsors.
Right.
Please buy from our sponsors. Wow, a giraffe attacked a man and his wife. Oh my God. I don't want to watch that because I just would like to have my false sense of security that they're fine. They're safe. They're awesome.
And I love giraffes. Now, the ones that I go to, the giraffes aren't on the main thing that you drive through. You go to a separate sort of like enclosure, and then you go up on a stand, and then you can feed them.
Okay.
So it's separate. The giraffes are separate, and it's making me think that there's a reason for that.
Well, I mean, they're so big, and you don't want to set off like a giant animal like that.
Powerful, and they apparently pick up toddlers, and they stomp on people. So, I mean, yeah.
Don Warnack, thank you very much for the super sticker. And John Newbaum, thank you. John says, Megyn Kelly showed a picture of her dog dressed in Pride Month wear. Didn't know I took my dog to gay care, she said. Because she sent her dog without a little bandana. And then when she picked up the dog, it had a freaking rainbow bandana on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd be pissed about that.
Yeah, that would irritate me too.
All right. Speaking of things that irritate you, this I know does. This is our schlong today. And our schlong is about a girl who is a game player. Lots of game players in the world when it comes to the dating world. Lots of games being played. I guess if there's anything you can say about this girl, it's that she is honest about the head games that she likes to play. Here she is.
I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what?
Oh my God.
And like, I just wanted him to like try. And then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to sleep with him. Now I feel ugly.
She's the problem. Oh my God. She's the problem. She's the problem. It's her.
That's what she said. She said she's the problem.
Okay. So you and I started having a conversation about this before the show, and we were like, but we got to, we need to make this our schlong because I can't stand this girl. Like, she is the problem. First of all, she's putting it out there for the masses, but your point was she's being honest. Okay.
This is what girls do this all the time.
And I feel sorry for guys because of this.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them because she said to him, I'm not going to sleep with you. So he does exactly what she says. And then she says, are you gay? Like, shut up, lady. He did exactly what you told him to do. He was a perfect gentleman. And then she's mad about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like,
it's amazing, right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But this is so typical. This is girls who want to be desired playing the games. They want to be desired and they want to be pursued. And then if they're not, it makes them feel bad about themselves. So they play all these games, and guys can never win because if he does exactly what she tells him to do and respects her wishes, she thinks he's gay and she's mad at him. If he tries, she rebuffs him and probably could accuse him of potentially sexually assaulting her.
Exactly.
They cannot win. It's so awful for guys.
Yeah, it is awful, and especially with all the Me Too stuff that's happened in the past couple of years. It's like they can't win. They absolutely can't win. She is psychotic. She looks like a complete psycho, and then she puts it out there.
Yeah,
like she gets on social media and she says all of these. She does and says the things, and puts it out there for the masses. Like, your crazy is on full display, lady. But then again, I mean, like you said to me this morning, other women are like this. Listen, I think all women want to be pursued. There is a level of, we do want to feel wanted and pursued. But I mean, she takes it to a level where it's like, okay, this is, you have to be honest with your partner too. Like, there's a level of, okay, if I tell you I don't want to sleep with you, or if I tell you I just want to like be with you tonight and I don't want to sleep with you, a guy is going to take that at face value. Men are, I don't want to say that they're simple, but if you give them a bulleted list, they're going to follow that bulleted list. That's one thing I've learned in my years of being with men. They're going to follow the list. If they're good men, they're going to do that. And they're going to respect your wishes on things. And she did that. She gave him basically a bulleted list. And she said, I'm not going to sleep with you tonight. This is what I'm going to do. And he's like, okay, I'm going to respect that. He seemed like he was a nice guy. He wasn't going to pursue anything else. And then she got mad about it.
Well, and men have been scared by the whole Me Too movement, right? To stop pursuing in the same ways that they may have before. It makes me think of the song that everybody gets all bent out of shape about every Christmas, Baby It's Cold Outside, right? And that is actually what women like. So women want to be like cajoled. They want to be like, come on, you can stay. Come on, baby. It's cold outside. And the women, no, I really can't, because like my dad's going to worry and my mom's. But she's saying that at the same time as she really wants to stay. And so that's the game that I think is a innocent enough game. But when it gets sexual, that's where it's taken this weird turn. Because it used to be, even when a woman said no, she could mean yes, as the Justin Bieber song points out, right?
Yeah, but you can't say that anymore.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but now that Christmas song is rapey.
I know, and so is the Justin Bieber song. But they're accurate, because it is fun, right? To be like, I don't know, I don't want to seem like a slut, so I'm going to like play hard to get. Right. But I also like totally want to sleep with you. That is what women do. They've been doing it since the dawn of time. It's just that this girl has decided to be very, very open about it. And she's showing very clearly that men cannot win. And that sucks for them.
Well, they definitely can't win in this generation. They definitely can't win now. Yeah, they can't.
I guess if she was like
sorry.
I guess if she was like super, super honest, maybe she could have said, listen, I don't want to sleep with you, but I also kind of want to. So here's what I want. If you could just like act like you want to sleep with me, but no, I'm going to say no, but like still make some moves on me, that would be great. But nobody in an early dating relationship is going to feel that level of comfort. It just doesn't happen that early.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe women need to start feeling that level of comfort. She felt comfortable enough getting on the internet and telling everybody about her business.
I wonder if they're still dating.
So maybe she should feel comfortable enough doing that. This is the thing. And she felt comfortable enough going to his house and sleeping in his bed. I mean, so maybe she should feel comfortable doing that and saying that.
I think the only thing that she didn't tell the truth about in that video is I think she would have slept with him. I think if he would have made the moves, she ultimately would have slept with him, but is trying to tell her, well, I wouldn't have slept with him, but I wanted him to try.
Oh my God, she totally would have slept with him.
Yeah, I think she would have.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. God, it just
poor men
today.
Just so it feels so bad for men, man.
I do too. I really
they have an impossible job. They really do.
I know. I really do feel sorry for dudes too, because it's such a mind screw, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
All right. It is time for some My Pillow Talks. You guys know I love the monkeys. Okay. But baboons freak me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. They look mean. And so this is a monkey I would not necessarily want to have in my house.
Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Pasti.
I'd be afraid that thing would kill me in my sleep.
Right? Because that's like a mean looking monkey.
I would be so afraid that thing would kill me.
And then there's like this other random creature that just sort of appears in this video. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
What is that? What is that?
Is it a meerkat? Like, I think it might be a really fat meerkat.
No idea what that is. It has stripes on it.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a meerkat.
idea.
But this baboon is just chilling out in this person's house.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, those are meerkats. How does he have meerkats?
I don't know. What country is this guy in?
I don't know. But like
these people have all these wild animals. I just don't understand. What do they do for a living? What do these people do?
I don't. That's a great question, and I do not know the answer to that. This is like this. Where is it? Where's my story about the? Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, you guys, look.
I don't know what my life is right now. As you can see, this is a baby deer in my car. For context, I live on a farm. I let my dog out same time as me to take my kids to school. I know you're hungry. And my dog started chasing something. I thought it was a coyote at first. Of course, I was like, yeah, go get it. I don't want a coyote on our property when I'm taking the kids out. And I started screaming like a goat. It's a fucking deer. I don't know what to do. So there's no mom around. I waited for a while letting her scream. And no mom. I put the dog in the house. I just sat outside with no mom. And now she like keeps like trying to suckle on me and shit. And she loves me and she won't let me leave her. And I'm afraid that she's like attached herself to me. And I genuinely don't know what to do.
Feed her. That's what you should do because she's suckling on you. Okay. I was going to say, instead of
But
getting
a lot
on
of
the internet, you should feed her. Yeah.
No, I mean, because honestly, this is exactly what I would have done, right? I would have been like, oh my God, this is a dream come true. And then I would have like taken this inside and like kept it forever. But that is exactly what you're not supposed to do.
No, you're not supposed to
So
do that.
she got yelled at by the internet. They were like, you should have never picked her up. The mom was going to come back or it wouldn't, but like you need to let nature do its thing. And so she did take it in. She called a bazillion wildlife rescue places. None of them were answering the phone. So she just kept the deer until she heard back. The wildlife people said, okay, if she's fed, take her back to where you found her. And if the mom is likely to come back for her, assuming the mom's not been killed. And so that's what she did. And then she never saw the deer again. So like, I'm just choosing to believe that the mom came back.
Yeah.
And that is living happily ever after.
I'd be so afraid of like on my property, like a hawk would get it or something.
Oh my God. I would be so keeping that. That thing would be living in
Steve's
my
like,
head.
Dave, you need a deer. I know, right? It's not a baboon. Don't tell me I need a baboon, Steve. All right. Don't tell me that.
Okay. So women have a lot of hormones, right? And they rage at various points of our lives. Puberty is an example. Menopause, another example. But hormones also can happen very, very young, like here.
I love it.
And then she cracks up.
And then she's like, ha ha. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. As a girl mom, I've seen this. I have seen this. Boys don't do that. Boys do not. Because I've raised, seriously, I'm telling you right now, that is typical of girls.
Yeah. And
So
women.
I have a
typical of
video of that.
women.
I know, right? I have a video of Gwen like doing something similar where she's like, and then she's like laughing, and then she's crying, and then she's laughing, and I'm like, oh my God, like that is so typical.
Also, this little girl has learned young how to have a good time on the weekend.
Okay. So Scarlett, what are you going to get at Tachos for your birthday?
A margarita.
Oh my God, I love
She
her.
knows
And
what's up.
I love
Have a
her in her little
margarita.
sweatshirt that says "Raised on 90s Country." God, that kid is she's gonna
know.
throw down one day. Yes.
I know you want cats. You want to be part of the cat distribution system. This may make you change your mind a little bit.
He's not overeating. I know that. Look at. Don't eat my plants. Don't eat my plants. Me. Steve, face the camera.
Oh my God.
You're adopted.
Oh my God. What? They're broken.
Oh my God.
What in the world? Oh my gosh. I would get a broken one, you guys. You know I'm going to get a broken one.
You would so get a broken one.
I know. It's just my luck.
Absolutely would.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and to close out our long weekend, this is the cutest thing you will see all weekend long. This is when identical twins discover each other for real. You know what I mean? Like you can see them really seeing each other. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like, hey, who are you? Oh my gosh. It's just the sweetest.
Oh my God.
Look at them. They're going to touch hands.
They're like, remember, we were in her together.
Yeah,
remember?
Together. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. That is just the most precious thing.
I just can't.
It's so
The amount
sweet. I love
that I
somebody said-
can't.
Rhonda said, did we just become best friends?
Right.
So great.
Amanda Barnard on Venmo just said that Rock and Roll Sunshine Kid is totally Amy Jo's future grands.
I know, right? I know. You guys, speaking of which, I got to get some updated pictures of Henry and Insiders. Because I have some update. He's getting some hair. He's smiley. He's like the best kid. I'll get some updated pictures this weekend. And then we get to see him on July 4th. He's coming to see Mimi.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Barnard just again on Venmo said the screamy, laughy girl is definitely Miriam's future grand. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. Since I did not have girls as a parent, maybe I will as a grandparent.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
very
probably
well
will. Yeah.
You guys, prayers for Ella Dog. And speaking of your pictures of Henry, which will be going up for Facebook insiders and local supporters, I will also hopefully have some Makalago updates in those two groups as well. So if you haven't joined, now would be a great time. Exclusive content.
And we also just we got something. We
did?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes. Jose Rodriguez. Jose says, Daisy had to day trip to Central Texas yesterday and waved as I passed the Bruceville Eddy exit. Y'all both have a great long weekend.
The next time you'll have to let me know. We'll stop and have something to eat. That would be really fun. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday. Bye, everybody.